dinner is really about leveraging diversity from government and the corporate sector and community sector. These are people that have invested in this mission of the African American Chamber of Commerce, and we've been able to leverage their investments to provide value back to the state. And we're just pleased to be stewards of their investments.
We have a very collaborative relationship with the African American Chamber. They've been one of our biggest allies over the years, and we're very proud to be able to work with them on many of the significant state issues.
Well, it's extremely important what they're doing here in New Jersey, to be involved in the community. They have job opportunities, they have contractual opportunities for the community.
The African American Chamber is a wonderful organization because it supports people who are not only doing a good job themselves, but are creating jobs for other people. And admired it, watched it grow, been involved with some of the businesses. When I was governor, we were able to do a number of things to help a number of the people who now are big business people and used to be very small business people. And a large part of that has been the African American Chamber of Commerce, so that we can work with each other, encourage each other, and grow together.
I would like to thank the African American Chamber of Commerce for this distinguished award. I am so excited. Thank you so much to Jackie and John for your leadership, for all that you guys do in the community for small businesses. Thank you.
This is a fantastic event. It's an opportunity for, number one, folks to do some networking, to make some new acquaintances and potentially some other business opportunities that they may identify.
It's a tremendous honor. I have great respect for John Harmon, and I think that this Chamber of Commerce is particularly important to our state, and I think it's important nationally as well.
The African American Chamber of New Jersey is one of the finest organizations in the state, and I mean that sincerely. What John Harmon and his board does for their constituents is very, very fine work. They're very dedicated. They get the big picture. They service both their customers and the state, and I couldn't be more proud to be honored by them tonight.
Well, we've been working with the Chamber on an IM leadership program at Irvington High School. Approximately 30 juniors for the past 2 years have enrolled in this program. The Chamber of Commerce has emceed it magnificently. They've quarterbacked the whole process.
My organization has grown through some of the business relationships that I've been able to nurture through the Chamber. And I've also been able to provide some volunteering on some of the initiatives that the Chamber offers. So the I Am Irvington initiative, where we are really cultivating young leaders in high school in Irvington, New Jersey. I have had the opportunity to be a presenter with them, and that's really just one of the things that I've done. So the Chamber has been a great opportunity for me.
I feel amazing, just the diverse representation here, the leadership, our former Governor King, Tom Bracken, one of the premier leaders of the business community in the state. We were able to really coalesce a nice setting tonight to really advance our mission, and I think it was well received, and just another phenomenal event for the African American Chamber of Commerce in New Jersey. And so when we talk about diversity in New Jersey, one of the most diverse states in America, it's not about an emotional imperative, it's about a value proposition. And so in the spirit of the late Honorable Elijah Cummings, I'd just like to take a little liberty here to really give you some perspective about leveraging diversity for value. And here in America, we talk about diversity, and it means different things to different people, but I'm often reminded of the great work and sacrifice of Robert Smalls and Frederick Douglass when they came together. In essence, two descendants of slavery came together and had a meeting at the White House with then President Lincoln. And at that time, if you can just visualize two former slaves on the grounds of the White House waiting to have a meeting with the President of the United States. They were summoned in for the meeting, and they engaged the President in the strategy that I believe really positioned America to be what it is today. We hear the refrain about make America great again, but if they were not able to negotiate the inclusion of 170,000 slaves as a part of Lincoln's army, we may not have these United States. So that's what, to me, that's what diversity is all about. Leveraging the best talent, notwithstanding their ethnicity, but really appreciating what people can bring to the table to be innovative, to be more efficient, in other words, to impact the bottom line. And that's what our mission is all about. Every day we're engaged in government from a policy perspective, working with many of our partners to make sure that New Jersey is a place that can be fully enjoyed and appreciated by everyone.
We're in a unique time, and John has been quite a gentleman. I'm not such a gentleman. You know, when you visit with young people in high school and you look at what they are growing up, what they are coming into, it is bizarre to say the least. And it's not about politics anymore. You know, politics is when you think this about regulation and I think that about regulation, and you think this about foreign policy and I think this about foreign policy. This is morphed. This is about culture. These young people are growing up faced with a different question about what do we want to be? Who are we? What do we aspire to be? And they are hearing very loudly from the very top a message of intolerance, and it's extraordinarily difficult if you spend time with young people to reconcile this. Politics, the way we've got it set up right now, is not going to fix this problem anytime soon. It's not a political issue, it's a cultural issue. And my opinion is that we need to look to institutions to bridge the gap, to remind each other what we're supposed to be aspiring to. Right? The arc, if you look at our country, has been to justice, and it's not a straight arc. It is like this, but we're better off today than we were a couple hundred years ago. But today, it's our institutions that are going to carry us forward on a path to justice, to give young people hope that there's a place for them. And I would suggest that this body has a heightened sense of purpose today than it did just a few years ago. And we need to invest in these kinds of institutions to bring everybody together. This is going to be a long unwinding. You know, I've always been happy to be my own age. I really wish now I was 20 years younger, right? So I could see the end of this story fully. But this is a long process. There's been tremendous damage done, and I don't care what side of the aisle you are. There's you know, on a daily basis now, we're doing damage. And so it's going to take a while to unwind, but it will unwind, and I think it'll be a beautiful thing once it fully does. But let's invest in organizations like this. Let's lean on John to take this organization to a different level in terms of outreach, in terms of excellence, and good days will be in front of us, certainly for our children.
This next guy here, you know, I was thinking about, we had a board meeting yesterday, and I was thinking about today, or 2 days ago? Was it 2 days ago? what would I say about this gentleman? That's what he is. He's a consummate professional, leader, leads with integrity and purpose, with a compass towards getting it right for everybody. And it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, to use Jim's point of reference, but it's all about advancing the ball and not getting boggled down in a bunch of foolishness. And Tom Bracken, I've known him, 30 plus years from his banking years, and I was a young pup trying to work with one of the programs that they made available to make capital available for small businesses. But he's always been a consummate professional, and he took the reins of the New Jersey State Chamber a few years ago. 5, 6, how many years? 8. See, time flies. But he allowed me an opportunity to come in and be mentored and be a part of his board and be able to leverage those relationships, again, back to Jim's point, to kind of advance this mission. You need those types of partners to help block and tackle. But once they do all the blocking and tackling, we have to be able to come to the table and talk about our mission in a way that aligns with society's trying to go for the betterment. So, Tom, I thank you so much for indulging me, coaching me, being a friend, but also being, more importantly, a leader in this state. Tom Bracken, he is the president of the New Jersey State Chamber of Commerce.
John is understating our relationship. I think I'm marking my 50th year in business in the state of New Jersey this year, and there are very few people that I hold in as high regard as I do for John Harmon. We've had a very close relationship. We think alike. We work together very collaboratively, and you know, a lot of us in this room get honored by organizations. And it's always an honor to be honored by anybody. But there are certain organizations that you hold such high esteem for that when you get an honor from those organizations, it means a little bit more. So when John called me and asked me if I would accept this award, it was pretty emotional for me because my relationship with John and Hosea, who's right there, and the African American Chamber is very special to me. It's kind of unusual for John's organization and all the organizations that we try to bring together, how collaboratively we work. And I don't think that's the norm in a lot of states, but it works well here. And I think it works well here because of the people involved and their focus, which is the same, and their commitment to do things better for the state of New Jersey. Also tonight, this is a very special honor because I'm a very big believer in you're judged by the company you keep. And I've either met and or read about my fellow honorees tonight, and I'm so honored to be considered with them for the awards that we are getting, that I want to thank John for including me in that company. And most of the awardees are sitting at the table, and I'm listening to them talk, and they've accomplished a lot in their lives, and it's always nice to be associated with people like that. So, John, I thank you for including me in that group also. You know, in my entire 50 years in business, I've operated in a very simple mode. One is I've always taken on challenges that I believe in, and challenges that I think will have an impact on people if they're done right. I've always prided myself on what my father said, which is no matter what you do the best you can. And I've always prided myself on protecting my reputation and making sure everything I did was with the highest degree of integrity. Because when it's all said and done, all you have is your reputation. So it's something you want to protect at all times. So if tonight, John, I'm being honored for those three things, which are principles of mine, I thank you for that, and I'm very gratified that you recognize those characteristics. Tonight is also a very, very special evening for me because, as I said, I've been in business for 50 years. There are certain people that I've looked up to in those 50 years and are on the highest pedestal that I have ever seen. One of those people is going to speak tonight, and he's sitting right there. That's Governor Tom Kean. There is no better person that I have ever been associated with in this state than the governor. You talk about integrity, you talk about respect, you talk about digging in, you talk about any positive quality you want, and every one of those qualities is associated with the governor. And to that degree, my organization, the State Chamber of Commerce, gives out an annual leadership award every year. It's the highest award we give. And 2 years ago, we renamed our leadership award to be the Thomas H. Kean New Jersey State Chamber Leadership Award, to exemplify what we felt he has contributed to the state of New Jersey. So to be on the same dais with the governor is very special to me. So I want to thank John for all the work we've done together. I want to thank his organization and the leadership, Hosea, for everything we've done together. I want to congratulate all my fellow honorees. It's a real honor for me to be associated with all of you. And again, I look forward to more working with John and the African American Chamber, and I think we can do much more together, and we're working very hard to do that. So thank you very much, John.
Good evening, everyone. Listen, let me tell you something. I've been running, and maybe I missed an email somewhere along the way, but I just thought they're going to hand me the award, and I'm going to go sit down. I had no idea that I was going to have to speak this evening. So, back of the envelope, folks, it's a thing. It really works. Let me just say that I am exhilarated and I feel a great deal of humility standing in front of you right now. I am just so excited to have been given this honor by the African American Chamber of Commerce. I've been a member of the Chamber for, I think, about 5 years now. And being a part of this organization has really been a blessing to me. I say that the Lemon Group is small but mighty because I am a solopreneur, as folks say. I have a consortium of other consultants and coaches that I work with, but it's really just me behind the curtain. You know, in The Wizard of Oz, they say, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Well, that's me, right? So, on the back of my envelope this evening, I thought about what the tagline of the evening is, which is building blocks for our success. And so some of the building blocks that came to mind for me are around, first and foremost, sense of purpose. And this is something that I talk with leaders about in all kinds of industries, whether I'm working in the healthcare industry with leaders or nonprofits or the banking and financial services industry. Sense of purpose is so important. Whether you're an employee or you are a business owner, right? Being clear on what it is you're here to do, what it is that you're passionate about, right? What gets your head up off of that pillow every morning, and what kind of impact it is that you want to have. So I want to impart to all of you to reconnect this evening as you're thinking about building our success of what your sense of purpose truly is, and sticking with that, despite the barbs that may come your way, despite the day-to-day challenges that you experience, but really connect in with what your sense of purpose is.
John, thank you. Thank you very much, and thank you for those very kind words about me earlier, undeserved, but very nice. I remember a long, long time ago, up on 125th Street in New York City, there was a group of young men, Muslim students, who helped open up the first northern headquarters of the Southern Christian Leadership Association. And I was one of those students. I walked up the street from Columbia, And we were of all races, of many, many beliefs. We were Republicans, we were Democrats. But we had heard the word. We had heard a guy called Martin Luther King paint what we thought the future should be. And we all grabbed that dream. And we all wanted to do what we could to work for it. We were unified. There were no differences between us. And I'll never forget that sense of optimism and hope and dream that we all had together at that time. Now look, we got problems, no question about it. But we still got that dream. We've got to do a lot of things differently. First of all, we got to start talking to each other again. We got to start recognizing that even if we disagree on certain issues, we got much more in common than we ever have had differences. And in this country, we've got to come together around those things we all want and need and share. And the ideals of Lincoln, the ideals of Douglas, and so many others, some of which we've forgotten, and we got to remind ourselves of. So it just seems to me we got to talk to each other, we got to smile at each other, we got to forget some of the political differences, and we got to recognize what those fixed stars are all about up there. So we can come together as a nation. Because, you know, Martin was right. You either live together as brothers, or you perish together as fools. So look, thank you. I'm deeply honored by your confidence in this award. Thank you very much.
Good evening. I'm Marcus Dyer, Chair of the Foundation Board for the African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey. The simple act of saying thank you is a time-worn way of showing appreciation. But sometimes those two words alone are not enough. Sometimes members of the community make such a difference, and the gratitude felt toward them is such that one feels compelled to do more to show gratitude. Therein lies the purpose for the African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey Corporate Awards. Through this event, we get a chance to honor the companies that support the mission of the Chamber and our efforts to improve the economic climate for businesses in New Jersey. We are very pleased to have the opportunity to show our appreciation for the partnership that we have established with these companies. A year ago, I never could have imagined I would be having this conversation with you under these conditions. But given the challenges we are facing during these times of perhaps the most devastating pandemic the world has experienced in at least the last 100 years, I feel fortunate to have this opportunity. By the grace of God, a little assistance from modern enterprise communications technology, and our steadfast desire to stay socially connected, we are together. And we have a great show for you this evening. You will hear from our founder and president, one of the most highly recognized and devoted community leaders in the state. We will take the time to recognize some great organizations and their leaders. They include Lynn DeCandia, the Chief Procurement Officer for Johnson & Johnson, leading a significant global organizational transformation for the procurement function. Faye Coleman, CEO of Pure Genesis, a trailblazer in the Garden State hemp space. Christopher Maher, CEO of Ocean First Bank. That bank is about helping put families in their dream homes and financing education for our future leaders. John E. McElwainey Jr. of New Jersey Bankers Association, an association that has notably stepped up to answer the call during the pandemic by working to help people save their homes and jobs and to take care of their families. Jack Miller, President and CEO of Solix, providing expert business process services, a company that holds at its core the mission of helping people. We'll hear more about these influential leaders and their great organizations in a bit. I couldn't be more excited to hear our keynote speaker, Stedman Graham, an American educator, author, businessman, speaker, and highly respected public figure. I grew up hearing about Stedman and seeing him on television. I can't wait to hear him. I hope you enjoy the event. Stay safe and remember to vote.
Good evening and welcome to the 10th Annual Corporate Awards event. First, let me start with a special thanks to our chairman of our foundation board, Marcus Dyer, and board members for hosting this event, our staff, members, and sponsors for their collaborative contribution to make this event not only possible, but successful. The purpose of this event is to recognize our corporate partners and members for their embrace of our mission in their commitment to delivering on diversity and inclusion goals and objectives through strategies based on value, not race or emotion. For when we do so, corporations receive creativity, innovation, and perspectives derived from unique experiences, all of which positively impact the bottom line. We came into this year pretty excited and ready to implement our plans for another successful year given our performance in 2019. We had our calendar of events teed up. We thanked our partners for all that they did to contribute to our success in the previous year, and we gave them an outline of what we were expecting to accomplish together in 2020. Then COVID-19 hit, followed by a number of murders to Black people at the hands of law enforcement, which led to sustained protests, not only in the U.S., but across the globe. And those protests piqued the consciousness of many of our corporate partners, government officials at the federal, state, county, and municipal level, which led to a number of inquiries asking for us to collaborate with them to respond to the inequities that exist with Black people in general and Black businesses in their capacity specifically. We responded to the call in a number of ways, starting with a series of webinars, which provided resources, opportunities, and information on issues surrounding health, education, workforce, business, and we collaborated with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the New Jersey State Chamber of Commerce, the statewide Hispanic Chamber, NJBIA, the New Jersey Bankers Association, and its members, Horizon Blue Cross and Blue Shield, the New Jersey Economic Development Authority, the Murphy Administration, and federal, state, and local elected officials. These engagements resulted in programming and supportive services executed by our organization designed to mitigate a host of systemic challenges that affect the over 1.1 million Black residents and over 80,000 businesses in New Jersey. We are now in the closing months of 2020, and we must say we've had a relatively good year notwithstanding. So tonight, this event is a kind of a celebration of a sort to those who have helped us reset the foundation for a better future together. When all is said and done, it is people that make the difference. I know we talk about names that are on buildings, the titles that are behind those who represent various positions of authority within the public, private, and community sectors. But at the end of the day, it's people who are committed to mutual success, and it is people who realize that we are better together. And so, again, I want to thank the Foundation Board, our members, honorees, sponsors, and our amazing staff. And lastly, everyone for tuning in tonight to support our 10th annual Corporate Awards event. And remember that the African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey is committed to working with all of you to improve the overall competitiveness of our state. Thank you again for joining us tonight, and God bless you.
For over 50 years, Lakeland Bank has been deeply committed to the communities we serve. And during these unprecedented times, we want our customers, associates, and neighbors to know that we remain steadfast in meeting your financial needs. So even as we all keep our distance, we are right by your side. Lakeland Bank, here to stay, here to help, here for you.
Tom McWeeny, President and CEO of the New Jersey Bankers Association, and we're very pleased to be a gold sponsor for this year's African American Chamber of Commerce Corporate Awards event. New Jersey Bankers has been around for 116 years, and today we represent 75 banks of all different sizes and business models across the state of New Jersey. We also have over 180 organizations provide vital products and services to our banks that allow them to serve their customers better and run their institutions more efficiently. I'm very proud to say that one of our associate members is the African American Chamber of Commerce. And over the past 5 years, I've really enjoyed having the opportunity getting to know your founder, President and CEO, John Harmon. John is a tireless advocate for the African American Chamber, and he does a terrific job of representing his members. New Jersey Bankers brand is making connections. We pride ourselves on connecting our members with key constituencies like legislators, regulators, and service providers. Going forward, one of the key constituencies we want to connect our members with is the African American Chamber and the Black business community. We look forward to working with John and his team to see how we can connect our respective members in an effort to really make a positive impact in the areas of racial and economic equality. After the tragic killing of George Floyd, John and I spoke, and we explored ways that our two organizations could work more closely together. Since that time, New Jersey Bankers has taken action in a number of areas. First, we invited John to moderate a panel discussion of bankers at a diversity and inclusion webinar we held back in June. Next, we assisted John in scheduling meetings with some of the state's larger financial institutions in an effort to explore the availability and the accessibility of capital. More recently, we've encouraged our members to join the African American Chamber of Commerce, And I'm pleased to say that there are now 18 banks who are members of the African American Chamber, and New Jersey Bankers itself just recently became a member of the Chamber also. Finally, New Jersey Bankers is forming a new Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Council for our member banks. We hope to raise their awareness and provide them with the tools they need to make progress in key areas such as minority hiring and advancement, more diverse representation on bank boards of directors, and greater use of minority suppliers and contractors. It's just the beginning, and we know we have a lot more work to do, but I want you to know that New Jersey Bankers is committed to helping the African American Chamber in your efforts to support the Black business community. So let me just conclude by congratulating you all on this successful corporate awards event and wishing you success in the future. Thank you very much.
Community banking to me means that our officers are involved, they're local, they live here, they're involved in organizations that we support.
It's important that the community responsibility that we have is embedded from every employee in the organization.
I think Ocean First definitely understands the community better than some of the larger banks who aren't from this area like we are.
What I love about Ocean First Bank is knowing that every single customer that walks through those doors is being treated like family, and we all work together as a team here.
Now introducing Freestyle Checking with no fees, no balance requirements, and unlimited ATMs. Whatever your style, Freestyle Checking fits. Open yours today.
What really makes Solix a unique place is people really come here with a passion. They enjoy what they do. They really believe they're making a difference. And when employees believe that, they just bring a whole different attitude to work, and it shows in the way that we serve our customers. Our employees stay here. They're committed. We do a great job for our clients. But our employees also feel that they're aligned with our clients. So it's not that they're coming just doing the same thing day in and day out. They really think that they're making a difference. I believe that makes us a much stronger and long-lasting business.
Solix's role in the programs we administer is vital. We're the vehicle that gets the money from the federal government into the applicant's hands while not allowing fraud, waste, and abuse to take place.
The Solix advantage is that we partner with the company. We're all in. We're going to provide our services on time and above client expectations consistently.
The culture here at Solix is surrounded by teamwork, a sense of urgency, and collaboration. We want to deliver the customer with the best customer service possible.
What Solix gives you is an expert in every single area. So you have an expert in procedures, quality, eligibility, and that's very unique for our clients.
Everybody that I work with at Solix genuinely cares about what they do, and they care about their program or their customer, and that shows through the work that they do.
Everyone knows that customer service and getting these applications out the door is key while still staying true to the company's regulations and guidelines.
We definitely do whatever it takes to meet expectations, to reach goals, to be whatever the client needs.
Whether it's helping a student in rural America connect to the internet through the President's Broadband Initiative, or helping victims from the Boston Marathon bombing get the services and the health care that they deserve, those are the kind of programs that we support, and everyone really feels good about working here.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are in for a very special treat. Our keynote speaker tonight is someone who needs no formal introduction because he's known not only throughout the United States but globally. He is a consummate leader in his own right. Moreover, he's from the Garden State of New Jersey. He's one of our own. And so when I reached out to him to keynote tonight's event, he said, "Hey, Big John, whatever you need, count me in." And that was a very humble acknowledgement and also a response to our invitation. I've had the privilege of working with him on a number of activities here in the state. We spend a lot of time at Burlington Community College with the Leadership Initiative, getting many of those students, one, to really acknowledge who they are so that their aspiration to who they wanted to be would be in alignment. And Stedman Graham was very, very good in bringing that all together. And I thought that he would be the appropriate person, given all that has occurred in the United States and around the world as it relates to Black people, to setting the stage or teeing up the conversation with many of our honorees so they could fully not only understand and appreciate diversity and inclusion, appreciate the right relationship with Black people to make New Jersey a better place to live and work for all. Moreover, to help them accomplish some of their goals and objectives within their own enterprises. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker for the night, Mr. Stedman Graham.
Hello everyone, my name is Stedman Graham, and it is a pleasure to be able to speak to you at the African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey 2020 Virtual Corporate Award Celebration. John Harmon, who has been a friend of mine for a while, asked me would I participate, and I'm so glad to be able to participate, and I want to thank him and his team for having me. Congratulations to the 2020 honorees, who are leaders in your field and also industry. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you about a subject that I just wrote a book about called Identity Leadership. And the thing that I know and the thing that I have learned throughout my lifetime and up to now is that leadership is everything. So when we talk about identity leadership, the philosophy of that is really, we talk about self-leadership. You can't lead anybody else until you first lead yourself. And so when we talk about self-leadership, which is kind of the basis for any kind of strong leadership, that's a very difficult thing to do sometimes. Because we really are kind of stuck in a fixed mindset. And what we mean by a fixed mindset is that, most of us, we get up in the morning, we wash our face, we brush our teeth, we get something to eat, we get the kids off to school, we work all day, we come home in the afternoon, we spend time with the family, we watch TV, we go to bed, maybe we dream. That's Monday. A fixed mindset is when on Tuesday we get up in the morning, we wash our face, we brush our teeth, we get something to eat, we get the kids off to school, we work all day, we come home in the afternoon, we spend time with the family, we watch TV, we go to bed, maybe we dream. That's Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we repeat that same cycle, and on Thursday, we do the same thing. Friday, we do the same thing. Saturday, we get the kids off to activities, we go out to dinner Saturday night. Sunday, we go to church, we eat chicken dinners in the afternoon, and we get ready for work on Monday. And in a fixed mindset, it's very difficult to basically grow and develop. If you did the same thing you did yesterday as you will do today, as you will do tomorrow, what have you done? Pretty much nothing. And how many people are stuck in a fixed mindset? Probably about 7 billion people are stuck. And we go to school, and again, we're in a fixed mindset in school, and we go to school and we memorize, and we learn to memorize, take tests, repeat the information back, we get labeled with a grade. 2 weeks later, we forget the information. So we don't actually grow or develop. And then the world defines us, it puts us in a box, it labels us, and it labels us by a race. I had a race-based consciousness growing up where I thought, everything was defined by race. In a fixed mindset, you're defined by family. You're dealing with family issues. I grew up with 2 special need brothers in my family, so I had to deal with a lot of issues. I grew up with low self-esteem, a lack of confidence in myself. And kind of basketball was kind of my saving grace. It kind of got me out where I could begin to at least grow and to build my self-esteem and confidence, which every day was a challenge. In a fixed mindset, you're defined by religion, you're defined by your house, you're defined by your car, you're defined by your money, you're defined by your title. So basically in a fixed mindset, you really don't know who you are. And when you don't know who you are, you pretty much don't know where you're going or how you're going to do that. What I learned is that what makes us all equal is everybody has 24 hours. So the question is, what do you do with your 24 hours? Most of us, I would say, probably are doing the same thing over and over every single day. We're stuck. And I would say that represents about 7 billion people in the world who are followers, who are basically consumers trying to figure it all out, trying to find out where the value is. And it took me a long time before I realized, the value is not in the external world. The value is in the internal world. The value basically is inside yourself. And if you're lucky to be able to find out how to pull that out of yourself, how to find those talents, those skills, those abilities, what you love and what makes you happy, you might have a chance to be able to self-actualize your own potential. So throughout my lifetime, I've been studying this and trying to figure out how this works and try to figure out how to define myself as opposed to having the world define me. Define you by your race, again, define you by your family, define you by your relationship. And a lot of people define me by my relationship with Oprah, and so I get stuck in that box. And so I understand the boxes, I understand also the labels, and I know how limiting those labels are. And so I wrote a 9-step success process, which I'm going to share with you. We don't have a lot of time, but I want to share that with you so that you understand that there is a process for success. And when you understand it, you're able to understand how to take information and education. You understand the value of knowledge and information, and how to take that knowledge and information and apply it to your life in the 24 hours that you have every single day. So you could actually move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Now, when you move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, man, what happens is you're now starting to think. You're now starting to develop. You're now starting to build something. You're now starting to create something based on your internal capacity, based on your intellect, based on your talent, based on all of the gifts and unbelievable abilities that you have as a human being. You're actually able to now create opportunity by organizing your own life around you, as opposed to giving everything away all of the time. And the first step of the 9-step success process, the first step is called check your ID, which really starts with identity as the foundation for growth and development. Without an identity, you pretty much are frustrated. You can't really understand why you can't get to the next level. You have nothing to work on for the most part. You have no purpose. You don't organize what you love or what you care about. A lot of times you fall into a victim mindset. You focus on the negative as opposed to the positive. So when we talk about identity, check your ID, we're really talking about how do you transform your feelings from negative to positive? How do you look at the glass half empty to half full? How do you work on what I can do as opposed to what you can't do? And that's based on the most powerful word in the world. Now, the key to this first step is understanding that, all you have to do is change the way you think about yourself and then change the way you feel. And it really is focused on the most powerful word in the world, which is love. And so the key is to begin your life or begin the journey of self-actualizing your potential is finding out what you love and what makes you happy. And when you do that, your thinking changes, your ability to feel differently changes, your law of attraction says whatever you put out, you get back, that changes, your energy changes, everything changes when you focus on love as the foundation for learning, developing, building, and creating. And it's very simple. That's all you do is you just take a piece of paper, you write down everything you love, then you learn how to take information and education and make it relevant to what you love, and then you self-actualize that and work on that every single day. You kind of work on yourself. So if you had to really understand the first step is work on yourself based on your passion, what motivates you, what you love, what you care about, what your purpose is. Second step, once you understand what you love and you can begin to organize your life around your passion and what you care about and what makes you happy, then you can create a vision. So the second step is you have to create a vision. Vision is always where we're going, not where we are. So once you understand who you are, now you have to figure out where you're going. So vision allows us to kind of organize, the whole world around us. I'm in the education business, I'm in the training business, I'm in the identity leadership business. So I'm teaching that as a curriculum in schools and colleges. How big is that? That's worldwide. How big should my vision be? Worldwide. So we're talking about creating a global vision. I know in business, our business is really determined by our leadership, which is determined by our lack of vision. If you have no vision as a business leader, you are in trouble. Your people are in trouble. Your ability to create economic development is in trouble. So leadership has to have vision. And you want to have the biggest vision possible, especially today, because we have technology as a way to define our limitations, where there are no limitations using technology because it's all over the world. So our vision basically should be global. In the education business, like I was saying, education for me is not local. Corporate training for me is not local. Leadership training for me is not local. It's worldwide. Because I have access to technology. Third step, okay, I'm motivated every single day. First step, I got an identity. I know how to organize information around me. I know how to take information, education, make it relevant to my heart and soul, transfer it to my mind. So I'm a thinking human being. I'm engaged in the world that I live in every single day. I have a vision beyond my circumstances. Poverty is looking behind me, not having a vision beyond your circumstances. Then the third step is you want to have a plan. You want to be able to organize it. You want to be able to write it down, put it on a piece of paper, figure it out, show other people. Because we forget. We have about 50,000 thoughts going through our head every single day. We're going to forget. So our ability to be able to write things down, record it, organize it, and make it relevant. The key in the 21st century today is, are you relevant to the world? Can you keep up? Are you a learner? Are you a reader? Are you a developer? Can you perform at the highest possible level? Are you organized? Okay. Are you focused? Whatever you focus on expands. So we got to be able to record it. And we got to be able to put the pieces of the puzzle together so that we're not breaking the mold. Every time we look around, we're unfocused. We don't know where we're going or how we're going to get there. We got to be able to align other people with clarity. So when you talk about leadership, and we have some great leaders who are honorees today. They can't do it without clarity and without a vision and without the ability to be able to use all of these tools, these technology tools and other tools to enhance their value as an organization or a company. The fourth step is master the rules of the road. Wow, I'm motivated every single day. I can't wait to get up. I have a vision. I see beyond myself. I'm laying it out. I have a plan. I'm using both sides of the brain, left brain, right brain. I now need a value system that reflects that vision, that reflects who I am. Some of the values that we have to have in order to be consistent in our development is trust. Got to be able to trust you. One of the most important values you can have as a leader is trust. Determination, perseverance, all of these things that are relevant to consistency, that are principles that basically don't change. Fifth step, oh man, I'm motivated every single day. I can't wait to get up. I got a vision. It's a global marketplace. I'm able to plan it out every single day. I'm going to micromanage. I'm a macro, then I'm going to micro. I'm going to lay out all of the details to making it happen. I have a value system that can go along with my vision of not who I am. I know who you are. It's who you want to become. Then I can begin to, make changes. And now, step 5 is step into the outer limits, overcoming your fears. What are some of your fears? What are the things that hold you back? What are your barriers to success? A lot of times we live out of our history as opposed to our imagination. And we're focused on our history as a way to define our existence. So we don't want to let negativity define our existence. What we want to be able to do is overcome the obstacles, overcome the fears. And we're dealing with that in the pandemic every single day now, trying to figure out how to get beyond that. And so the thing that we have to do is we have to sustain ourselves over a long period of time based on changing our habits, based on changing sometimes our routine, based on getting out of that comfort zone, based on being able to redefine our existence as a human being. And so our ability to overcome our fears, it's a small step process. And you want to work on small steps. So you got big picture vision, you got small steps, details, you're working on those details every single day, and you're developing a process for continuous improvement. Step 6, pilot the seasons of change. How do you begin to navigate those changes based on what's possible for you? So we have all of these opportunities in the world that we have today. Man, how do you organize all of those opportunities and make those opportunities relevant to our development in spite of the changes that we have to go through every single day? We have, external changes that happen all the time, in our work, in our job, in our leadership positions. And so our ability to be able to navigate through those changes and be flexible, in addition to having some adaptability, so that we can adapt to the changing circumstances. That's who's going to last, and that's going to be the person standing after all of this is over. Step 7, build your dream team. Got to have a team. No one makes it alone. No man or woman is an island unto themselves. You got to have a team. And your team is always predicated on how strong or weak you are as a leader. Strong leader attracts a strong team. Weak leader attracts a weak team. You can't make it by yourself. No one makes it alone. No man or woman is an island unto themselves. You cannot make it by yourself. You need a team. And a team of people who are going in the same direction, and you need leaders who have clarity that will allow us to be able to figure out what we do best, pull us all together, so you can put the pieces of the puzzle together to paint the picture. Step 8 is win by decision. It was one of my favorite steps, which is, man, this changed my life. The ability to be able to learn how to take information and education and make it relevant to who I am every single day. Wow, that was a game changer. So I was so used to, reading books, and I didn't read a lot of books, but reading books and not being able to really understand what I just learned. So the ability to be able to dissect, use my cognitive ability to take the information and make it relevant to my development, make it more actionable, changed my life. So everything I read, I write it down, I organize it, I make sure that it can apply to my vision, to where I'm going. And I organize every segment of my life so that information becomes relevant to every segment of my life. Step 9, commit to your vision. And this is the last step. So we talked about, passion and purpose and identity, who you are. We talked about where you're going, which is vision. We talked about how you're going to get there, a step-by-step process of how you're going to get there. We talked about your value system. We talked about overcoming fears. We talked about building the dream team, all of that. And so what we want to be able to do is transform our life. And a lot of times we're in a transactional mindset, which means we're doing all of the detail stuff, but we may not have a vision about where we're going or who we're going to become. And so our ability to be able to transform every single day, working on our habits, developing a process for continuous improvement, creating a lifestyle, looking at the big picture, organizing our culture, or building a better culture, a stronger culture in our business so that we can create an ecosystem that is relevant to the development of our, of our goals and our vision for our company, for ourselves and for our family and for our community, and eventually for our country. So, I spent all of my life trying to looking for equality and looking for freedom. This is about as close to freedom as I possibly know, is ability to be able to, organize your thinking, understand the value of information and knowledge, making that relevant to your development in the 24 hours that you have every single day, which is what makes us all equal. Everybody has 24 hours. And so if I was going to end with something, I would end with this poem that kind of sums up what I've been talking about for the last 15, 20 minutes, probably 20 minutes. It's called Invictus by William Ernest Henley. And it simply says that out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstances, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeoning of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade. And yet the menace of the years shall find me and shall find me unafraid. It matters now how straight the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Thank you so much for having me.
Again, here at the 10th Annual Corporate Awards event, it is my honor and privilege to extend this award to Faye Coleman, not because of the great things she does as a member of our board of directors, but the example she sets as a business owner, leader, visionary, and always willing to share insight and help others. So success is not a lone journey. Success is about collaborating and willingness to share and exchange information. And in that spirit, on behalf of the Board of Directors and members of the African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey, we extend this to you this evening.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, John. And thank you to the Chamber. And thank you from Pure Genesis. We're honored.
Well, we're honored as well. Have a good evening and let's enjoy the rest of the program.
Thank you. To the Chamber, our host, Stedman Graham, the honorees, and to those attending, good evening. My name is Faye Coleman, and I wanted to take an opportunity to share a little bit about myself, my business, and my chamber. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, and I've raised two wonderful children. I started my career as an engineer, and Campbell Soup is what brought me to New Jersey, where I then transitioned to operations with the Home Depot and Target, then became a market leader for CVS, before I ventured into the cannabis industry. My company is Pure Genesis. We are women and minority owned, certified MWBE, and we are a community-first cannabis business team. We have over 250 years of combined experience in supply chain, pharmacy, IT, HR, as well as experience and expertise in cultivation and compliance. Our mission within this industry is to educate, provide access to alternative medicines, and to advocate for those negatively impacted by this industry. Our strategy is to cultivate, process, and dispense cannabis, both hemp and THC, and expand as multi-state operators, educators, and business consultants. Our focus is to serve as a business through community partnering, where we look to offer 30% of our positions to those released from prison due to small possession, provide transferable and leadership skills training and a living wage, and provide for the underserved with 1% profit sharing in those communities where we reside. We have 6 business streams that make up Pure Genesis, where we are focused on acquiring a medical marijuana license right here in New Jersey. We are multi-state hemp operators. We have a data analytics study to address pain management with Rowan University. We are launching a hemp-infused line of beverages in Q1 of 2021 called Genesis Infused. We're super excited. And we will continue our business consulting and education, or most notably, our Now You Know workshops, where we, with the support of the White House, will focus on HBCUs in 2021. Now, many of you may or may not know, in the US, cannabis will have record sales in hemp and marijuana. Hemp-derived CBD in 2019 brought in about $1 billion, and by 2023 is projected to bring in around $6 billion. At the same time, marijuana brought in around $12 billion and is projected to double to in 2023 to about $25 billion. Now, for New Jersey, it is the first year for hemp cultivation licenses, which we were able to acquire and cultivate thanks to the Department of Agriculture. However, the most important question that nationally everyone is waiting to hear about are the results for public question number 1 on the New Jersey ballot, which is voting for adult use legalization. For those interested, I would look at New Jersey to start your business, but I would also look nationally and internationally. For example, right now in Africa, many of the farms are being converted from tobacco to hemp farms, and they are looking for partnership opportunities. So, we cannot overstate the importance of partnership, especially as it applies to supplier diversity, where 90% of our vendors are diverse, including African Americans, Latinos, vets, women, and the LGBTQ community. This is what strengthens us as a business and a community. This year, more than ever, community focus is critical as we have all been impacted by the pandemic, protests, and politics. This is why not only is supplier diversity critical, but diversity is critical. Our challenge for some time as African American entrepreneurs has been access to capital and customers. Research suggests that a community's generational economic empowerment is directly linked to its entrepreneurial success. In the cannabis industry, only 4% of businesses are Black owned, and more specifically, only 1% of businesses are owned by Black women. Clearly, we are in the minority, but it is opportunities like this tonight that allow us to share who we are and extend ourselves to others. This extension is also done as we partner with many organizations that help to lower barriers to entry for African Americans as they enter into the cannabis industry. And 80% of those organizations for us are diverse. One of the most important organizations that we cherish is the African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey. We are so proud, excited, and thankful to be a part of the chamber. Whether providing tangible opportunities to move us in our business forward, providing education that will allow for business growth, or providing a network of businesses and leaders eager to support our endeavors. The Chamber has been instrumental in our success and has also provided an opportunity for us to support other businesses so they may realize those same successes. So, can this industry provide generational wealth? Yes. Can this industry provide jobs, investment opportunities, community support? Yes. But for me, as I watch my mom suffer from chemotherapy and radiation from breast cancer treatment, It is also about providing and improving health care for the ones we love. That said, I will leave you with one of my favorite quotes, which is from Nelson Mandela. He says, "It always seems impossible until it is done." Those who may be interested in the cannabis industry, it takes education, dedication, and a network of support like you will get from the Chamber. Listen, if Pure Genesis can do this, you can certainly do this. John, I am honored to receive this recognition, and on behalf of the Pure Genesis team, we thank you.
On behalf of our Board of Directors and members of the African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey, we'd like to make today's presentation to a longtime friend and supporter of the African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey, John McWeeny. He is the President and CEO of the New Jersey Bankers Association. You know, this year is extremely important in terms of this whole COVID-19 environment, the civil unrest that is occurring in the marketplace with the death of George Floyd. It's kind of brought more people together to really focus on what's important. And I say what is important is that we're all Americans, we're all New Jerseyans, and we're trying to coexist. And having a relationship with the New Jersey Bankers Association and other honorees that are going to be recognized on today's program is so extremely important. So John, we want to extend a little token of our appreciation to you for the great work that you do here in the state of New Jersey, and looking forward to doing even more in the future.
John, thank you very much. Certainly a great honor for us to receive this award, and it's a very prestigious award. I want to accept it on behalf of all of our members. This is really a recognition of all the great work that our member banks do out in the community. I'd like to congratulate all the other winners for tonight's program. If I could especially congratulate one of our members, Chris Marr and Ocean First Bank. Happy to see they're being recognized because I know they do a great job. You know, John, you referenced the difficult times that we're all going through with COVID-19 and the social unrest that our nation has realized since the tragic killing of George Floyd. I want you to know that the New Jersey Bankers Association, our members, and the entire banking industry is committed to doing everything that we can do to partner with you and the African American Chamber of Commerce to make some inroads to make our country and our communities a better place to live for all, and improve the economic and racial equality that our country has to offer. John's a tireless advocate for the African American Chamber and the black business community, and it's just a pleasure to work with him and his organization. And John, thank you again, and congratulations on a successful event tonight, and best wishes for the future.
Thank you again, John. My man. Our next honoree this evening, Christopher Mayer. He is the Chairman, President, and CEO of Ocean First Bank. And Chris and I have kind of developed a rather unique relationship. And what I admire about him, he has been a man that his word is good. And you know, when you're getting to know people, that's something you have to figure out over time. We've been working on some very specific initiatives in terms of working with Ocean First to identify talent for employment opportunities. In addition, we've been working with them for board seats, and through my relationship with John Rogers of Aerial Investments, we were able to identify a candidate, made the recommendation. That person went through the process, and recently was added to their board of directors. That's a win-win for the bank, for our community, and for our people. Lastly, Ocean First is in the process of constructing a building. Chris and I talked about getting Black businesses, getting our members on that project. And what's interesting, some of our members had some initial engagement with the builder, and those conversations did not go as well as our member would have hoped they would have gone. A subsequent conversation with Chris and Chris made it clear that this was the bank's project and that they would have, or he would have, some conversations with the builders to let them know that, or let them know how important this project is to the bank, to the community, and the relationship with the African American Chamber. And as a result of Chris's intervention, we are now seeing some of our members being awarded opportunities. And we're hoping to continue to do that throughout New Jersey. It is in that spirit, that's the spirit that we hope would be disseminated across the state of New Jersey, that diversity and inclusion matters. It's about a value proposition. It's about impacting the bottom line. With that said, we like to acknowledge and extend this award to Christopher Mayer, the Chairman, President, and CEO of Ocean First Bank.
Hi, I'm Christopher Marr, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Ocean First Bank. First, I want to thank the African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey for allowing Ocean First to be part of the Corporate Awards event this year. Ocean First is proud to partner with the Chamber as we all work together to forge new relationships and address critical issues facing our community. At Ocean First, we recognize the need to move faster. Moving faster requires that we develop critical relationships in every community we serve. Working with John Harmon and his friends at the Chamber has been invaluable. With their work, we've improved talent acquisition at every level of the company. They've also brought us new supplier relationships and served as a source of counsel and advice. So thanks again for allowing Ocean First to be part of the event this year. I'm proud to be part of Ocean First.
On behalf of the Board of Directors and members of the African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey, we're honored to make this presentation to Jack Miller, President and CEO of Solix. This is our 10th annual Corporate Awards event, and we're just delighted to have you as an honoree this year.
John, thank you so much. This is really a thrill and an honor. But before I say any more, I want to recognize you and congratulate you for your recent recognition as the #1 influencer in the state of New Jersey for people of color. And I just think, I know you don't do it for recognition, but I think the fact that you've been recognized just validates the impact you're having by your work and the work of your team. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Jack Miller, and I'm the President and CEO of Solix. I'm thrilled to be with you. Solix is a company that's headquartered in Parsippany, New Jersey, with locations in Utica, New York, Charleston, Illinois, and Killeen, Texas. We work for both public and private sector organizations across the country, providing applicant eligibility and enrollment services for a variety of public benefit programs. Let me give you a few examples of what this means. Here in New Jersey, we're assisting small business in both Camden and Morris counties apply for COVID small business relief funds. We set up a COVID relief hotline, an application process for the state of Texas to ensure that residents impacted by COVID would not lose either telephone or electric service. Literally within about a week, we ramped up this facility to take more than 10,000 calls a day. We also work with major school districts across the country to assist them in recovering federal Medicaid funds to defray the costs associated with providing services to special needs students. In one case, we helped a major Midwestern school district receive about $40 million last year. We also support Step Up for Students, which is a not-for-profit, Florida-based organization that provides scholarships to needy families so they can send their children to charter schools. We also do work for the likes of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama, AT&T, and T-Mobile. Now, I talk about our facilities in New Jersey and New York and Illinois and Texas, but over the last 7 months, we faced challenges just like everybody else. And one of the things I'm proudest about is how our employees have stepped up to respond to this challenge. We've literally deployed hundreds of call center agents to work from home, and that required us to onboard them, to provide training, to provide technology. And we've done this virtually overnight. If anybody ever said to me in February, we'd have the vast majority of our employees working from home, I think I would have laughed at them. Now it's one of the things I think shows the resilience and the commitment our employees have, not only to Solix, but to our customers. Our employees really take pride in the work they do. If you speak with any of them, they're really going to tell you that they feel good about working for Solix because they really believe we help improve the lives of people every day. Now, does this sound familiar with John and his team are all about? I met John when we sat next to each other at a state chamber event, and we really hit it off. It became eminently clear that John tells it like it is. I liked that, and I knew that night there'd be some opportunity for us to work together in the future. Over time and through a variety of discussions, it became clear that John's also a man of commitment and action. He's become a trusted resource for me as I've relied on him for advice on a number of issues. I joined the African American Chamber of Commerce because it's clear that the work they're doing is vital to making New Jersey a better place to live and work. I realized how important a resource John and his team can be for me personally as well as Solix as a business. And likewise, I hope I can become a resource for John and his team as well as Solix. To date, John's recommended some of his member companies that have been good business partners for us. We've worked with John to identify African American owned businesses to augment and enhance our supplier base. We're also working with John to identify some candidates for key positions across our business. We're really just at the beginning of what I believe will be a great and mutually beneficial relationship. I'm really proud to accept this recognition on behalf of Solix and our leadership team, and look forward to working with John and his team to make Solix a better business, as well as a leader in the communities where we live.
I'm here today with a good friend, Linda Cadia. He is the Chief Procurement Officer for Johnson & Johnson, and we're here to extend our congratulations to him as well as the other award recipients at our 10th Annual Corporate Awards event. You know, I had the pleasure of meeting Lynn some time ago at a United Negro College Fund event where a colleague of ours was being recognized. And at that point, he and I had some discussion about fostering the relationship, and we built on that relationship since. And because of that, and the commitment of Johnson & Johnson to the African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey, we're here to recognize Lynn today.
Wow, thank you, John. I'm really honored by all of this. You know, I have deep New Jersey roots, being from Hoboken and all the work that I do at Rutgers. So on behalf of all of my colleagues at Johnson & Johnson, I would like to thank you for this recognition. You know, we have a long relationship with the Chamber and with you.
Yes,
and it goes back many, many years. And, you know, we're entering our third decade of our supplier diversity program. And we recognize that, you know, what we've done to date has been fantastic, but there's much more to be done. And this year has really taught us how important it is for these types of relationships, relationships between leaders like yourself and others in the community and organizations like Johnson & Johnson and that commitment. And And we have to do things differently today.
Yes.
Because it really requires us to do things differently, and we really need to take action. And we want to thank you. You participated in a webinar with our organization to really create greater awareness for all of us within the Johnson & Johnson community. And some of your members have participated as well. And for us, it's important that we use our big for good. And we have a strong influence on the importance of helping those communities where our patients are, our customers are, our employees are. I mean, those are our communities where we live and where our families live. And we're doing work not only in the aspect of working directly with Black-owned suppliers, but we're also trying to influence our other suppliers to have advanced programs and to also commit to their communities, and also have diverse teams that are a reflection of our teams. And more recently, we've really upped our game in terms of embedding this strategy in all of our buying practices, and more importantly, using technology as a great enabler to help us with connecting the dots between those great communities and those business owners in those communities that are making a difference within their communities. We're trying to understand how economic health leads to greater social health and ultimately greater human health, right? And that's really what we're all about as the world's largest healthcare company. So again, on behalf of all of my colleagues in Johnson & Johnson, the great work that we've done to date and will continue to do with you and the team at the Chamber of Commerce, thank you again, very much appreciated, and we look forward to even doing more work here in New Jersey with Black-owned businesses.
Well, we look forward to the continued relationship, and we receive it, and I'm just excited, and we're going to continue to work and make a difference in our state together.
That's right. Everything counts, and I think these types of relationships and this type of influence on our peers is so very important.
Absolutely.
So thank you again for the recognition.
Once again, the African American Chamber of Commerce, the board of directors, our members, sponsors, and staff have put before you all another amazing event. And I don't say that to brag or to boast, but these men and women work hard day in and day out to demonstrate to the public that the African American Chamber of Commerce is committed to improving not only the conditions for blacks in New Jersey, but making New Jersey a more competitive state by working more collaboratively together. We're extremely excited just to have this opportunity. And moreover, we're excited to have a mission that aligns with these current times, to have a mission and relationships in the public, private, and community sectors that we can coalesce a strategy that will derive mutual benefits. Continue to support us. Go to AACCNJ.com to get more information on upcoming events. But for now, we wish you all a good night and thank you for your continued support. God bless you.